Welcome to the top 10 manhwa and manhwa, where the main character goes from weak to strong. These stories highlight ordinary people who begin with nothing, no skills, no power, no confidence, but through courage, determination, and relentless effort, they rise to the very top. From game-like worlds filled with hunters and dungeons, to ancient cultivators who spend lifetimes perfecting their arts, and even students trapped in deadly tutorials, each journey shows the power of perseverance and transformation. What makes these stories so inspiring is not just the action, but the emotions behind every struggle. Each hero fights through fear, pain, and betrayal, yet refuses to give up. They stumble, they fall, but they stand again, stronger than before. Get ready for epic battles, heartbreaking sacrifices, and unforgettable victories, as we dive into incredible characters who prove that even the weakest beginning can lead to the strongest destiny, and every step of growth is a legend worth remembering. 1. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Kim Dokja is just an ordinary office worker, obsessed with reading a web novel that no one else cares about. But one day, his world suddenly transforms into the very novel he's been following for years. Unlike everyone else, he already knows the plot, the hidden dangers, and how events will unfold. At first, he is powerless, fragile, and completely outmatched by the threats around him. But Dokja uses his unique knowledge to outsmart opponents, survive deadly scenarios, and slowly shape the destiny of humanity itself. With every trial, he gains new strength, unexpected allies, and respect from those who once ignored him. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is not only about becoming strong, but about strategy, foresight, survival, and proving that even the weakest person can turn the tide of an entire world. 2. Overgeared. Shin Youngwoo, once known as an unlucky failure, discovers the legendary blacksmith class in the game Satisfy. Mocked and underestimated by everyone, he struggles with endless setbacks, but his persistence never wavers. Slowly, through hard work and patience, he rises from being one of the weakest players into a true powerhouse admired by many. His growth isn't instant. It comes from sweat, determination, and overcoming countless failures that would break most people. Over time, his crafting skill evolves into unmatched power, allowing him to create weapons that shake the entire gaming world. Overgeared shows that real strength doesn't just come from brute force, but from resilience, creativity, and never giving up on your path to greatness. 3. Solo Leveling. Sung Jin-woo begins as the weakest hunter, unable to even fight the weakest monsters without help. Ridiculed as the world's weakest, he faces constant danger in dungeons and struggles to survive. But one fateful day, he receives a mysterious system that gives him the ability to level up endlessly, something no one else can do. Slowly but surely, he pushes his body and skills to the limit, transforming from a fragile man into the strongest hunter in existence. Each dungeon conquered, each boss defeated, brings him closer to unimaginable power. From zero to the ultimate hero, solo leveling is the ultimate weak-to-strong journey, filled with intense battles, emotional growth, and the unstoppable rise of one man destined to change the world. 4. Top-tier providence, secretly cultivated for thousands of years. Hanju is granted an extraordinary chance to cultivate in complete secrecy, far from the chaos of the world. While others fight bloody wars and gamble with their lives, he chooses a different path: patience and survival. For thousands of years, while everyone assumes he's insignificant, he quietly grows into a being of overwhelming strength. His patience pays off as enemies who once looked down on him are shocked by his hidden power. From the outside, he appears ordinary, but behind closed doors he becomes an unstoppable force. This manhwa is not only about strength, but also about wisdom, foresight, and the discipline to wait for the perfect moment. Top-tier providence proves that sometimes the strongest are those who remain unnoticed the longest. 5. Level Up with the Gods. Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng is thrust into a reality where he gains the power to level up beyond normal limits, even into the future itself. In the beginning, he struggles like everyone else, barely holding on in a world filled with danger. But as he learns to use his unique abilities, his growth becomes extraordinary. Slowly, he surpasses not just his peers, but even veterans who once seemed untouchable. Each battle becomes a test of his courage, his strategy, and his unbreakable spirit. What starts as weakness transforms into dominance, as Lu Sheng evolves into a being others can only dream of becoming. This story is a thrilling reminder that sometimes the most ordinary beginnings lead to the most legendary outcomes. 6. I'm an evil god. Xie Yin is suddenly thrown into different worlds by a mysterious system, each one filled with deadly challenges. At first, he is weak, unprepared, and constantly forced into situations that seem impossible to survive. But his cunning mind and shameless tactics turn every disadvantage into an opportunity for growth. He fights, he schemes, and he adapts, becoming stronger with every test. Over time, his enemies who once saw him as insignificant come to fear his unpredictable nature. What makes this story unique is the mix of comedy, chaos, and power progression, making Xie Yin's journey unforgettable. I'm an Evil God shows that strength comes not only from power, but also from wit, confidence, and the ability to laugh in the face of danger. 7. Demonic Emperor. Once a powerful emperor, betrayed by those he trusted most, he is reborn into the body of a weak young man. At first, he appears helpless, but inside burns the soul of a ruler who refuses to be crushed. Using his past knowledge, he begins to rebuild his strength, mastering cultivation, martial arts, and strategies that shock everyone around him. Every step forward is a declaration of his return as he crushes enemies and reclaims his rightful place. The journey is filled with revenge, danger, and endless battles, but nothing can stop his rise. Demonic Emperor is a story of redemption, perseverance, and the unstoppable determination of a man who refuses to bow to fate. 8. The ultimate of all ages. In a world filled with powerful cultivators, a young man once seen as talentless awakens a hidden ability that changes everything. Though mocked and dismissed as useless, he begins to show strength that no one could have imagined. Each fight, each challenge, pushes him further toward greatness, surprising his peers and shocking his enemies. He grows from an outcast into a warrior whose name echoes across the land. Along the way, he uncovers ancient secrets, builds alliances, and faces enemies who want to crush his potential. This story highlights courage, resilience, destiny, and the spirit to never accept failure. The ultimate of all ages reminds us that true strength is not defined by where you start, but by how far you are willing to climb. 9. The tutorial is too hard. A gamer is trapped inside a mysterious tutorial world where every challenge could mean death. At the start, he is weak, fearful, and completely unprepared for the horrors ahead. But instead of giving up, he pushes through pain and endless trials, sharpening his mind and body beyond human limits. Each floor becomes harder, more brutal, and more demanding, but with every victory, he evolves into something greater. Along his path, he meets allies, faces betrayals, and learns lessons that test his willpower to the extreme. From ordinary and powerless, he transforms into a fighter who can stand against monsters and gods alike. The tutorial is too hard is a relentless story about survival, growth, sacrifice, and proving that true strength is forged in the harshest flames of adversity. 10. I killed an academy player. In a society ruled by powerful players, one weak and bullied student is constantly underestimated. Beaten down and ignored, he seems destined to remain powerless forever. But everything changes when he awakens a hidden ability that allows him to strike back in ways no one expects. From being a victim, he becomes the hunter, shocking those who once tormented him. Every battle pushes him to grow stronger, both in skill and confidence, until he rises above the people who once laughed at him. As his journey unfolds, he uncovers dark truths, challenges dangerous opponents, and begins to realize that his strength carries consequences. I Killed an Academy Player is a gripping story of revenge, transformation, courage, and the power to fight back when the world turns against you.